r/askreddit, if you could become the most powerful person in the world, what would you change? There is only one way to do that permanently. Monthly executions of corrupt politicians that are broadcast globally. Super. Very Romanian. It worked for Conrad Kurz, it can work for you. Do you? The corrupt ones who are good at it would get the honest ones convicted. Calm down, Saddam. No more plastic stickers on fruit. Globally. You genius. If there wasn't a screen in the way, I'd kiss you. Actually, maybe not, I don't know you. First, my sleeping schedule. Then I'll just wing it from there. I would focus the world's hate on me as an existential threat, and only then would we finally come together. Split the power, that is too much power for one person. I would give it to my other personalities. And GT, I would give it to my other personalities. How many personalities do you have? Double it and give it to the next person. I'd build infrastructure on a small island so all my needs are met, i.e. internet connection, a mansion with everything I'd ever need, then ignore the rest of the world. Peak Reddit is having unlimited power and prioritizing your internet connection first. Very good. And, in a decade your island no longer exists. Link. The serious change to make is obviously to push through green energy production and energy storage to stop the planet cooking. Make every billionaire a multimillionaire and give them a badge that says I won capitalism. Reallocate all their extra money to education and affordable housing and healthcare. And GT, make every billionaire a multimillionaire and give them a badge that says I won capitalism. How does this work with their capital being largely in shares? I assume you take their shares? Then what, you sell the shares en masse. The shares would be worth pennies by the end. And GT, then I'll just wing it from there. Wing up to where? I always thought freedom from fear was a catchy idea. All things entered into law, policy etc. has to be sanity checked, peer reviewed, and have model projections done by independent bodies before reaching debate level. Deleted. Elon does not make $150 billion a year. Do you guys just make shit up to paint it as worse than it is, or do you really believe that? In the last decade his stocks have increased in value by about $15 billion a year. Which doesn't work at all the same way as an actual income, because you can't tax stocks until they're sold. He's worth $180 billion in stocks. His actual yearly income probably isn't nearly as large as you'd think. Tesla doesn't pay him a salary at all anymore, for example. Having said that, I agree with your point. I'm scared of power because I'm afraid I'd change as a person with so much power. Not sure of yourself? Defeat Putin. Liberate North Korea. Liberate them from what? US sanctions. Revamp laws to protect human rights so that there is a true separation between religion and government. Make it safe for women. Bro has his priorities straight. Why only women? Define most powerful person in the world and what power you have. Time for outside activities will last longer than time for exams. I like astronomy, so I'd implement global light pollution regulations and open vast dark sky preserves that can be easily accessed by the public. First thing I'd do is ban TikTok, then I'll proceed from there. Unban myself on Twitter. Why? Access to clean drinking water for all people on the earth. The single most important thing we can do to both relieve suffering now and stave off massive global conflict in the future. No more unwilling homelessness. I'm not sure how I'd do it yet, but I'll hire some of you smart mfers on Reddit. I'm willing to put in work for some vets and others in need. If I can make breakfast on a hibachi grill 60-inch wide and 12-inch in length, I'll cook it up quality style. Even Gordon Ramsay would say, eats food and doesn't day anything. I'll try and end world's hunger. Step 1, buy Lay's and any other large chip brands out there. Step 2, resell their product with completely full bags of chips instead of 30% chip capacity. Nothing. I love being governed by entities that we ourselves haven't met or do not exist. I love making decisions based on some random person's thoughts and opinions and actions we have not asked for. I love living in this earth where there are plentiful food and shelter and resources, yet we decide to appoint them to certain place and group of people. Geez, imagine having to be depressed in this era where everything is perfect. Curriculums to include more language study so that there could be better communication country to country. I'd change how wars are done. Instead of the average Joe and Jolene going to fight and possibly die, I would make it so that they were exempt from fighting. Then the ones that go off to fight these wars would be the leaders, politicians, and their families fighting and dying. Oh, how that would change the world. Bicycles are the new car. Bicycles have all the connected/consistent roads, cars have the usually narrow car lanes and car gutters that keep disappearing and reappearing in the wrong/weird way. Watch as the road deaths plummet, and air/noise pollution subside. Bikes are both range and ability limited, exposed to the elements, and can't transport stuff. Not everything is a stone's throw away. Everyone leave everyone alone. Absolutely no communication between people. I would eat all the rich. There it is. This. No one would go to bed hungry, especially children. No one would worry they might not eat tomorrow, especially children. Starting with yourself. The rich. No more capitalism. Everybody would do stuff just for the sake of helping each other and humanity's survival. And disband the entirety of every military on Earth. To make it impossible for war to exist. And make it so drug addicts no longer get locked up and instead get actual help. And make all guns except for hunting rifles/shotguns illegal. And make it no longer a crime to smoke weed. Every week the richest person in the world gets stripped of all wealth and jailed for life. This would be kind of interesting to see play out. You'd have all kinds of creative accounting to try be mega rich but not the number one. Disband all organized religion, 90% billionaire tax, Ube, universal socialized medicine, outlaw nuclear weapons, term limits on all politicians, greatly expand powers of international courts. I would wipe out humanity and die peacefully.